Hi, in this video, I'll give a simple explanation on Cipher Feedback Mode. So, what is Cipher Feedback Mode? Cipher Feedback Mode, or CFB, is one of the modes of operation for a block cipher. CFB is similar to CBC, where it uses a block cipher to encrypt the IV and the XOR values for subsequent iterations. In this case, block cipher is used as a component of a random number generator. CFB utilizes an initialization vector which is usually randomly generated to avoid repetition of a ciphertext output. CFB does not require any special measures to handle messages whose lengths are not multiples of the block size, since the mode works by XORing the plaintext with the output of the block cipher. The last block will then be XORed with the first few bytes of the keystream block, thus producing the final cipher block that is that of the same size as the partial plaintext block. Therefore, CFB does not require the plaintext be padded to the block size of the cipher. Next, I am going to explain the encryption process. Firstly, an initialization vector is generated as the first input into the encryption block. The size of the IV varies depending on the block cipher used. In this case, DES block cipher is used, therefore the IV will be 64 bits. The IV does not need to be kept secret, but it is advised to use a different IV each time. There will be a key called key K which will be 64 bits, corresponding to the block cipher type. It will then be used as input into the DES block cipher along with the IV. The result is an encrypted IV with key K with the size of 64 bits. The process has another parameter, which we will call S bits. S determines the number of bits the encrypted block will divide by, which in this context, we will use 32 bits. We will then take the first S bits of the output and XOR it with the plaintext block. This will produce the first ciphertext output with the size of S bits. Next, the first ciphertext output is used to update the next input for the encryption block. The N-S bits of the previous input is then inserted into the new input by left shifting it, producing the input for the encryption block. The encrypted output will then again be split into S bits, XORed with the plaintext block 2 and produce the ciphertext block 2. Finally, the rest of the steps are then repeated using the next block of plaintext. This will continue until all the blocks of plaintext are encrypted. After encrypting, I will now move on to the decryption process. These two processes are quite similar. The decryption process only requires the plaintext to be swapped with the ciphertext to produce the decrypted message block. This is repeated until all ciphertext has been decrypted. That is all for the explanation regarding CFB. Thank you for watching.